such a huge difference in how quickly you grow as a player.
Very, very big difference here. But again, this has been one of the few interesting matches that we've seen where the ULF actually taking a bit of a loss in that early stage of the game. Let's see how this is going to play out now with Ufendar on the blue side up against DFYG on the red side.
So we do have a side switch here, and DFYG will elect to ban out the Fanny now that they have second pick. Ufendar still going for the bans on Eve and Phoveus, but instead banning out the Matilda this time.
Fight for the
Okay,
ultimate
and they also
answer.
get rid of the Hilda too. Thank goodness, thank goodness. The fact that Matilda is gone begs a couple of questions here. Why get rid of the Matilda this time around? A majority of teams have not been banning it out, if not letting it through sometimes as well. Mainly because I'm guessing they want to play a composition that can actually chase down their opponents potentially.
Your team is picking.
Ooh, I thought it was going to be something like a Hylo's first pick when the Matilda was banned out, but they go for the Cho straight away.
I have no issues with this. I think Cho as a first pick is really, really powerful right now. Now that we've seen, the nerfs actually coming through onto Lord Suyo, we don't have the penultimate pick anymore. I mean, there's still Zhuxi, but we have enough bans.
Yeah, Zusin not gonna really see much of the light of day here, but Bruno and Gatot are very effective opening from DFYG. It does lean them a little bit towards wanting to get more of an early game advantage, and I do hope that they have a secondary initiator to pair up with this Gatot, but so far, so good.
I like the way that they're thinking here. I'm guessing that DFYG are going to go lean more in towards comfort side to play around Long and try to get him the resources necessary. Because in that previous game on that Granger, you play more like a support until you have your 3 items, right? You use that Death Sonata to finish off kills. If not, supplement the initiators, as it does have a slow effect when it connects.
Yeah, so I think now that he is on the Bruno instead, he should be able to contribute to fights a little bit more, but against a Natan, it's going to be rough because this hero scales up so quickly and so terrifyingly.
Yeah, and it just makes Winds of Nature an unoptimized item for you as a marksman. Now you don't have the defensive capabilities to protect yourself against Natan. The most you can do is probably the Malefic Gun to try and outrange him, as long as you don't get hit by the CC. Now, it's going to be Suyo getting locked in for the red side of DFYG. They can ban the Alpha out against TNZ, but I think that TNZ still has plenty of options. He can still play the Nolan, he can still play the Leon Lord.
And he did a great job with the Ling on day 1 as well, so these are all possibilities that he can play for. I think DFYG can definitely try to get a snowball going with the Suyo and Gatot, since that would create some good pressure early on, but they gotta be a little bit careful because the Cho and high-lows can really punish outside your positioning.
Hayabusa going to get
is banned.
followed up banned by the red side here. Want to get rid of the assassins early on to make sure that they have an opportunity in this game here. But they need something punishable because Cho is on the other side, right? As much as Suyo doesn't want to get hit by the Way of the Dragon during these neutral takes, they probably will need a stronger initiation tool. I'm just not entirely sure what it's going to be.
Well, something they can even consider is going for the Valentina, right? And then stealing either Glorious Pathway or Way of the Dragon to maybe kick things off. Pun not intended. But is that the path they would want to go for? It requires a good deal of mastery.
It's a tough call. It's a really tough call. Because again, yes, the Way of the Dragon is great, but it puts Valentina in danger to try and make the play. It's not like a penalty zone where you can kind of throw yourself into it, or a Glorious Pathway, which I think are very safe ults and still high impact.
I think if they want to play it safe, then Vexana, Aurora are still going to be open. Both are not too bad in dealing with rundown compositions. So I think Aurora is a bit harder to play against something like Cho just due to his mobility. They will ban the Loyi, so once again, making sure that they don't have to worry about all the teleports happening across the map, though Chip is still on the table.
Yeah, Chip is still on the table, and I feel like the FYG want it, but at the same time, it's a little hard to say, because it was Ufendar being the ones who banned it out. And keep in mind, Red Side gets first pick in the second phase, so this is their option. Do they want to ban it out the Chip, or no? They lean into the Vexana.
Yeah, so it looks like they agree that Aurora, while good at dealing with high-lows, is less effective against something like the Cho, while Vexana is a bit more universal. So decide to get rid of that instead. Now DFYG gonna need to make a choice. Do they want to blind pick their mid laner here? Because the alternative would be revealing where this Gatot is going.
Tough options. Tough options. What would I go for? I guess I would just show my mage here first, right? But then how bad could it go? Because it still feels like ULF and Dar probably are looking to play maybe that Pharsa one more time. Actually, no, maybe not. The Gatot could just ult right on top of her.
Your team is picking.
Oh!
No way. Okay. Okay. Got a little bit of an ego challenge here from E1. We have to note this is a player that is very, very talented. It has even been touted by casters in China that E1 actually doesn't train all that much. He's just built a little bit different. He even has a nickname over there, right? I believe they called him Pajama Boy because he always showed up wearing pajamas.
Hey man, he's got his priorities straight. He keeps himself healthy. I bet he only gets sick once every 4 years.
Maybe so, right? There's just something different about people like this.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting to see. Now, I don't know if ULF and Dar is going to bring out the classic counter to this Pharsa being the Grok, but maybe that's a little far-fetched here. Nolan is available, but they also made sure to get the Valentina. Now, this is going to be really, really fun. Because again, Valentina has a number of ults to steal. It's either you steal away the Feathered Airstrike, or maybe look to cancel it yourself with the Worldy or Guardian of the Avatar.
It does technically mean that ULF and Dar still has the Feathered Airstrike Glorious Pathway combo from game number 1, so E1 gonna need to mind his positioning and make sure to notify his team if Rosa has access to his ultimate.
Final pick coming in for DFYG. Is it going to be... I mean, they could consider picking up Chip here, but that would mean that Gatot would have to go into the EXP lane. Won't be able to clear the wave as quick. Actually, clears the wave decently quick, almost at the same time as Cho, but at least he has like a semi-global
One
ultimate.
thing is the beginning of
Esme!
Whoa! Why? I mean,
I
Esme is not bad against Cho, right? Because Cho plays around shields a little bit, so you can steal them away, but outside of that, I don't really see her value.
doesn't do very well against the Natan. Nolan probably doesn't want to target the Esmeralda. Oh, this is interesting. I need to think about this a little bit more. Let's quickly pull up the screen here to look at the full compositions one more time, because the Feather Airstrike is a very powerful tool. However, with hypermobility coming in from Tianzi and Alien as a potential way to cancel it, Apex 47 could bulldoze their way through, maybe even past KLVJ. So it's all about peel and responsiveness against the ULF for DFYG.
Oh, we also remember what I mentioned about Gatot being the main form of initiation. There's just nothing to keep them inside the Feathered Airstrike. Esme doesn't really help in that regard. But let's see if DFYG can surprise us once again. Right now, ULF and Dar, one game away from confirming their ticket to the wildcard finals. Let's see who takes it as we return to the Land of Dawn for game number 2.
All right, it's going to be ULF and Dar on the blue side up against DFYG and Yanghua on the red side. Now, I think they only hold on. Bishu is taking a lot of damage here, forced out to use his Retribution, sorry, not Retribution, his Revitalize super early.
Yeah, even E1 taking a lot of abuse, so looks like Rosa has a little bit of a bone to pick to what they did to them at the start of game 1.
Exactly, even going for the Impure Rage to really make that damage stick despite having Rejuvenate being buffed here. But as the early game is going to start progressing relatively quick, oh my god.
Alien just jumped straight into 4 members of the DFYG, knowing that Apex has to revitalize to keep him topped up, and PCU does not. So Apex 47 gets the first blood, but Zed gets the return kill now, but very, very low on HP. Here comes TNC with the delayed engage. Fracture, KillVJ survives it, and now Zed switches his sights to Rosa. Can he get the swing? No! Rosa dodges it, but not Yi1. So Rosa will fall.
That was an interesting set of fights here. Again, both sides looking to struggle and fight against each other to gain tempo early on, but KLVJ, wait.
Oh, Alien showing him how it's done. This Esmeralda, while she can do some damage early, still not known to be a lane dominator.
I mean, her base damage is extremely low, and she only gets better later in the game, and then it's going to be basically unplayable for Alien from that point onwards, right? I am curious what KLVJ is eventually going to build. I don't know if he's going to go for like Thunderbelt first, or if not, and go for a full tank build, if not, go for the traditional Esme build.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've seen this hero. Apex 47 though already zoning out to PCU as well as Zed here off the turtle. Zed gonna go ahead and start working on his buff, but because TNZ already started it quite a while ago, he is clearly in the lead EXP wise.
Double checking the item build so far. KLVJ currently, it looks like he might just be going straight. I mean, it could be an anti-cuirass for all I know, just like similarly to the previous game, or it could just be the Thunderbelt. Hard to say, but he's not going for tier 2 boots.
Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Yi1 not going to be able to escape. Feathered Airstrike used against him to set up the kill for TNZ. Blade Surge connects on Alien. A good taunt into Revitalize on both sides. Glorious Pathway slowing down DFYG to the two-man Jeet Gundo. And here comes Rosa as well. But DFYG surviving a lot of it. KLVJ using his Purify to get away and allowing Zed to finish off Apex 47 in return. PCU looking for another opportunity. Misses the Avatar the Guardian, but Zed will get the turtle. And E1 secures the kill on Cho with a Feathered Airstrike.
Unfortunate indeed, but still, DFYG is walking away with a 1.3k lead, and Sunshine actually taking a pretty bad trade. Lung is doing a great job.
He wants Sunshine. Sunshine knows he's already dead. He's just gonna pop a cheeky recall there. Apex 47, bit too late to the party, so a huge gold injection to Long.
Yeah, Lung is actually dominating this lane. He's like a full level ahead against Sunshine. Now 2 levels ahead on top of the extra surge of gold.
Now Alien and Apex being chased down. Alien using Flicker, Apex using ult so that they can get away. DFYG upping the ante.
They're going to continue this. I'm expecting the lane swap to happen pretty early on here, but they might as well take away jungle camps at the same time from TNZ.
By the way, something we didn't point out, Long has Master Assassin, so he is straight up aiming to win the 1v1 in the gold lane.
I mean, he always goes for Master Assassin. I'm not too surprised with that, but especially for Sunshine, he's got to be a little careful. I thought he would be able to go even against him, but considering that a lot of these fights have been happening on the opposite side of the map and not really getting the gold laners involved, he has been kind of isolated.
And that's exactly what Long wants, right? Master Assassin 1v1, and he is coming out on top there, so that's really nice for him. Sunshine already 1 level behind. Glorious Pathway used defensively again, but they catch the stun on TNZ into the Feathered Airstrike. A beautiful combo by DFYG.
Oh man, really good stuff here. That falling star move coming in from KLVJ to kick things off, and that's what I wanted to talk about, right? The initial engagement is going to have to come from Zed and as well as KLVJ. It is a micro stun, but don't worry, Sunshine should fall
next. Look at their positioning on Sunshine, making sure to watch both sides of Entropy. Another kill by DFYG.
And the snowball is getting kind of big here. It's a 3.9. It's going to turn into a 4K pretty quick.
And the turtle just respawned as well. DFYG in the perfect position to start working on it. PCU gonna scout out Apex in the brush. Not sure if they saw TNZ, but Alien gets in, gets the kick, not in the right direction, but just to get Zed off the turtle. Not successful though, as now Alien drops low. Blade Surge connects on 1, that's TNZ, and KLVJ comes in to finish him off. Tianfeng Yao Guai in dominance in the 5th minute.
Yep, turtle already in their hands, now turning into a 5K lead. If mid-tier 1 falls, the next 4 minutes is going to be hell for Ulfindar.
This is what we talked about, right? Returning to the fundamentals. Tianfeng Yao Guai showing us how it is done and shocking the world. Putting up an amazing early game against the fan favorites.
It's not over until it's over just yet there. Ulfindar really need to scale into this game. Like Sunshine especially is going to need more core items with only 1 completed item in that Feather of Heaven. It's not going to be enough until he has Starlium Sight as well as the Holy Crystal. Speaking of which, cutting back to KLVJ, it looks like he's already finished his T2 boots and as well as his Thunderbelt.
Thunderbelt on the Esmeralda. I'm very curious to see what the rest of his build is going to be, because it's been such a long time since we've seen this hero in the EXP lane. Long though, just finishing the Berserkers, near a 2k gold lead on Sunshine. This is going to be a problem for Ulfindar.
Yeah, they are currently, they're really, really poor here, and DFYG are not letting their foot off the gas.
Feathered Airstrike zoning them away from the mid-tier 2. Alien actually gets stunned midway through his combo and has to just back back away, not able to start the fight. Meanwhile, Zed 1v1 with Sunshine. Blade Surge connects right into the skill 2. Unstoppable streak for Zed on the Suyo.
Things are starting to fall apart really quickly for Ulfhedar as DFYG has continued to make sure that they are punishing them. Walk into the jungle? No. We're taking half your life minimum. Be isolated. We've got a man on the job already.
This is a total reversal with DFYG controlling the side of the map. Ulfhedar are not able to safely walk into their own jungle. This Farsa being such a good zoning tool. Falling Star Moon right on top of TNC. AOG connects on Apex. PCU instantly walks away. Glorious Pathway slowing down the DFYG, but they no longer have a tower to play around, so they're able to get out just fine.
And that's how you utilize your ultimates to get free structures against your opponents. That's what you want to see here. Now, 7.6k lead, last turtle already, and I mean, DFYG are getting very close to setting up a checkmate angle against Ulfhedar.
This is the first time Ulfhedar has been in this situation, the entire wildcard group stage, and it is at a very unlikely opponent. China showing us that they are here to play MLBB.
See how the response from Turkey is going to be. Oh!
Ooh, a beautiful dodge! KillVJ perfectly timed to escape the stolen AOG.
Okay, I mean, he was looking for an angle here, but an interesting way to potentially try and punish. Not going to have the IMU for this upcoming fight. I almost guarantee this board for free unless TNZ is able to steal it away from Zed despite being 2 levels down.
DFYG start things off, taunting Apex, already at half HP. Zed gets them toward. Just a really clean play right now. Ulfhedar just has to settle with allowing Sunshine to push the bottom lane.
He's going to be able to do that, no problems whatsoever, right? They're trying to intercept, even sending TNZ to try and slow down KillVJ. And as soon as he's passed, he quickly takes the recall.
Long just finished Malefic Gun as well, so this is where Bruno really becomes a problem to have to deal with. You can see how confidently he is able to position right outside the Ulfhedar base. Alien gets taunted! Wrong time, wrong place! A free kill for Long, and Feathered Airstrike just to make sure no backup can reach him.
Nicely anticipated, really nice here. Their moment, I'm guessing that Alien's movements were a little readable from the DFYG, right? They're coming in extremely prepared, and here we go!
AOG comes in, lands on Apex, followed up by the falling Star Moon. Rosa nearly dies, able to flicker away from Long just in time, but that's the battle spell gone. That's the mid inhibitor gone. Lord still alive at 40%. DFYG instantly switch over to the top inhibitor. The Fracture does nothing to PCU, and U1 continuing to zone with the Feathered Airstrike. DFYG putting up a masterclass in base siege.
This is how you siege a base. They're not even utilizing their ult all at once. They know that they have such a big lead that they can't lose their initial engagers. So throw the GOA, zone them away from these turrets. We still have the Feathered Airstrike as a deterrent, and not to forget, if the Falling Star Move connects on anybody, they're almost guaranteed to die if all 3 of their members are ready to jump at them.
I really have to say, I am loving the willingness of DFYG of just throwing cooldowns to make something happen every single time their abilities are up, and the timing of which they combo them together. This is a well-oiled machine.
I mean, it's looking good for now. Things could easily change. One single mistake could easily turn this 10k lead back down to a 5k lead.
We haven't seen Ulfhedar have to come back from a deficit yet, so this is going to be a demonstration here. They get the stun on Zed, not able to continue with the Feathered Airstrike. Even Apex taking so much damage. Falling Star Moon drops him to 40%. Top inhibitor will fall. Alien not able to get the kick. Stolen Feathered Airstrike really just tickles DFYG. Fracture almost takes out Long, but he's able to survive. And they just walk out. They've achieved what they wanted.
Yep. Man, next Lord is going to be so important for Ulfhedar. If they can just drag this out, maybe they have an opportunity. But it's a 10k only 11 minutes into the game. Nobody is strong enough.
Oh, KillVJ cuts off Alien in his own jungle. Monster kill for Zed. Level 14, 6-0-4 on the Suyo.
This is starting to look really unplayable here. KillVJ completely outscales Alien at this stage of the game, not to mention that he's already 3 levels up on him.
Sunshine is the only hope Ulfhedar have, and he's so far behind in farm. He is only level 11. There is nowhere on the map for him to get gold.
He does not have a Holy Crystal as well. He's only got a single wand for now. At this point, DFYG just need to keep Ulf and Dar in their base, as they just need their jungler as well as gold laner to take this Lord without thinking about it.
And now TNC gonna be caught out again. E1 coming over, Falling Star Moon lands, but Alien gets the kick onto the Parsa, so E1 has to flicker out. In the meantime, PC was just holding the front line, and Zed picking off Sunshine by himself in the top lane. Plays certain, going to miss. TNC, look at how much damage he takes just from a single ability.
Yeah, it's starting to really hurt here, but at this point, the end is nigh.
Minion wave pushing in mid. Does DFYG want to go for the end right now? There's still one in his standing. Zed almost dies, but a beautiful Venom Airstrike into the sun. TNC almost dies. Legendary streak for Zed. And now, DFYG will bring it to a full series as they take game 2 from Ulfhednar.
Woo, that was one hell of a game, and they're making this snappy and fast. Great stuff here as the early game fell into the hands of DFYG, and honestly, a very unique draft. We're seeing the Farsa pop up in this series, but also an Esmeralda?
I didn't think the Esmeralda would be as effective as it was, but the timing of Kill VJ was perfect. I literally said during the draft that you don't have a primary initiator to combo Avatar the Guardian with. Like, Falling Star Moon should be on paper such a short stun that it's not reliable to combo with. But the chemistry is so, like, clean.
It looks good because they keep distracting their opponents. What it looks like is, oh, I see the GOA, but I don't see the Esmeralda channeling and walking up to you as it happens. You can only look at so many things on the screen at once. So, again, I think there was a little bit of tunnel visioning happening for Ulfhednar as we started progressing towards the 6-minute onwards, right? Because a lot of their outs were caught off super, super quick. Sunshine, for example, trying to split push on his own, definitely got punished a couple of times because of that. And look, 0-4 and 0, 7.1k. It's not like he doesn't have the capabilities to out-mechanic them, but with such a large gold deficit, it really doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's so rare to see Ulfhednar in this position. It has literally not happened the entire wildcards, which shows that DFYG are a legitimate contender. Nathan should be able to scale pretty well, even against a Bruno in lane, but Long just pushing his advantage.
He really did. Again, this is what we were expecting. Honestly, this is how I was expecting DFYG to play the game. Maybe not this quick, but definitely centralized around Lung. So it goes to show that they continue to evolve, and maybe they have a deeper playbook than we initially thought.
But then look at Zed as well. 905. Probably the most successful Suyo performance we've had the entire competition so far. Just doing so much damage. You could tell that even though Ulfhednar are playing a very comfortable combo of Alien Show and Apex Hylos, they could never open the map.
No, they couldn't. Not at a 10k deficit for sure. Not at a 10k deficit. Looking at the team stats, and this is what I'm going to be interested in, right? Alien at 15 compared to KLVJ at 36k, Zed at 63, Lung at 53. Yeah, unfortunately, unable to get over that final hurdle, and maybe even if we saw Ulfhednar trying to sacrifice their inhibitors, I don't think they had enough wave clear until Sunshine hits that third item.
Yeah, this is a draft that wants to, at the very least, be even in the early game, and DFYG made sure that that could never happen. And it's so surprising too, right? Farsa and Esmeralda, nowhere near the meta, and yet being so effective. We pointed out Yi1 being a very talented player. He is literally matching Rosa in momentum using this hero. And it's so shocking.
It is pretty shocking, which makes me wonder whether or not it would have been a smarter idea to put Apex 47 on the Cho and then give the high loss over to Alien just to try and kind of slow down the pace of the game. But let's give it up for our MVP of this game, going over to Zed on his Suyo, making quick work of the front line as well as the back line.
This game truly proves that Zed is a mechanically gifted player. He is known to be good on the Fanny, but couldn't find the angles in game number 1. But on a hero with a bit more utility and a bit more openness in approach, you can see just how quickly the combos came out, how decisive he was with his actions, the abilities just coming out one by one in such quick succession.
very quick suspension. I mean, let's look at these highlights one more time, because again, this was the most decisive fight. This early game fight that was honestly getting out of control because of how long it ended up dragging. And this actually works out for KLVJ, because again, he's playing Esmeralda, so he is completely fine trying to slow down everybody as they push through. And now, unfortunately, he ends up dying later down the line, but the amount of kills, the amount of gold being achieved by Zed specifically, that's when it started to snowball out of control.
I even question if the miss on the Suyo third skill was intentional, just to cut off Rosa's escape combined with the Farsa, right? So, like, you can see the communication is there. You can see just how clean it is. Openar definitely made a huge mistake over-committing to the kill initially and giving Zed way too many kills under his belt early.
Yeah, man, it's just really unfortunate for Sunshine here. Really needed him to step up, but unfortunately was denied so many of these opportunities. And even for TNZ, right, it looks like his position was compromised very, very often just because of the amount of pressure that Esmeralda was eventually building over the mid game.